I pray like it's up to God. I work like it's up to me.
Good morning, everybody. This is William with Hammer and Hype. I wanted to bring a different side to what we're about here. I have another alter ego, as we like to call it around here, and it's Coach Will. And I've been coaching baseball and youth sports for a long time. It's a huge passion for me, especially when I have, taken my boys through the different levels and working with them and watching them grow. It's just such a joy. But I wanted to kind of give a message to them and discuss with you something that I've kind of come into with my age and time, a different perspective on how I want my boys to be. And, your kids are always asking you questions. You're athletes. It could be a daughter. It could be a son. What do they want to know? What we want them best at, and what do they always assume? They assume the fastest kid on the team, the best hitter, the best thrower, the best pitcher, best defensive player. What me and my wife, Dory, focus on a lot is two-sided. One is, I want you to be the best teammate. And what comes with that also is, I want you to be the best at making people around you better. And I think that's way more important than most skills. If you think about the greats, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Cal Ripken, Nolan Ryan, what were they really, really good at that people didn't discuss? Yeah, they talked about their stats, their awards, the things they won, but they made their teams better. They held a line. They had a way to lead that made the people around them stronger, better, and pretty much made them be better. So Derek Johnson, he struggled going into major leagues, and obviously everybody knows, how tall he was and how hard he threw and what his stats were. What people don't understand is he struggled his first season in Major League Baseball. He wasn't a great when he started, but he spent some time with Nolan Ryan. Wasn't even on his team, but he gave Nolan Ryan a call and said, "Hey man, I'm struggling right now. What can I do to get better? How do I get to the level that you are at?" And Nolan Ryan took the time to talk to him, and not even just talk to him, but work with him. And he came back that following season and had a huge record-breaking season. So that's what's, I think, the most important thing that we can teach our kids in youth sports now. That encompasses the sportsmanship. I mean, be excited when, let's say you hit a line drive to the outfield, and you're super excited about that hit. And everybody knows the sound of the crowd. It's hilarious to me, and one of my favorite sounds. So you hear a big hit, you hear one whole side of the field screaming because they're so excited about that hit, and it was awesome. And then all of a sudden you hear the other side cheer really loud, and you hear the defeat, because there was a great play. And a lot of players get upset with that, but I celebrate it. My son hits a dinger to center field, and the outfielder catches it. I tell my kids to celebrate that because you just did everything you were supposed to do. You won the at-bat. But celebrate that other player made a phenomenal play. There's nothing wrong with celebrating each other and talking about team workmanship, the love of the sport, love of the game. So I'm excited when someone makes a great play against me. It's like, wow, okay, you made that play. Yeah, I hit the ball really hard, but you had a moment. And that's the purity of the sport. And another thing that, Coach brought up this weekend, which was very important to me because we battled all weekend this weekend, played some very good teams. And I think we played at a higher level than we've ever played. And we have a small team. We're not big. We're at that 12-year-old age where some kids are already hitting puberty and a lot of kids are not. So there's a huge size difference. And, baseball is a great equalizer. And what he said is baseball has nothing to do with size, speed, athleticism. It's about execution, which I thought was a great point because in football, the bigger team tends to win. You can just run over people if you want to. Basketball, the tallest player can command the game. Size matters. But with baseball, it doesn't matter if you're Aaron Judge, you're 6'7", or you're Altuve and you're 5'8". It's about execution, executing the play, doing your job. It is it's an individual team sport. And I think it's really hard for these kids to identify that just because you went 0 for 4 in that game, but you made 3 game-altering outs. But all they hang on is those 4 at-bats. They hang on that. They don't realize that their teammates, they made the runs that needed to be made. You know, you get switched in and out of pitcher, you make a bad error, but you know what? You have an opportunity to go have an at-bat and make that error disappear. So it's a team sport, but you're also battling at an individual level as well. You're worried about making those plays, and you don't have a lot of chances. So it's really hard for a young player to go, okay, I've had 3 at-bats, and I had 4 opportunities to make it out. Well, I had 2 great hits, and then I got out of my 3rd at-bat. But my 2 great hits gave us a run batted in, and I scored a run in the 3rd inning. I had 4 opportunities to make a defensive play, and I made the first 2 outs. They were great. My 3rd attempt, I made a mistake. I had an error, and the ball came right back to me, and I got the next out, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. No scores happened. So it's a balance sheet. But I've had games where I have played phenomenal and I've lost. And I was happy with my performance. I would have loved to have won the game, but I did what I could for my teammates. And I lost the game. So, of course, I'm not happy that I lost, but it's still a team sport, and we didn't win. We got beaten. But there's games that I've played horrible, and we win the game. I don't know which one is more satisfying to me. Personally, it affects me more how I play for my team than what my team performs. So if my team wins or loses, yeah, I like to win. I don't like to lose. But I think more emotionally for me, it's more about how I did personally, which is a battle I think even our kids have and parents have for their kids. But we got to remind them about what they can do for their team to help their team win. And it isn't always on the field. It's being a good teammate. It's being the best teammate. Getting your team to practice harder in practice, making them more confident, talking them through a tough moment in the game and pushing through. I think that's way more important because I think that's more relative to life and life in general, because we all have wins and losses in life, and we all have great partners that carry us and make us better. My wife makes me a better human being, and I hope I make her a better human being. And I think that's way more important than the wins and losses that we have, because we can't control the wins and losses. All we can control is what we do for each other and get the wins when we can. And if we make everybody better around us, we're going to win a lot more. So that's something a little different that was weighing on my heart today, and I wanted to share with you guys. And I hope you guys take that for what it will and enjoy your day.
Let's get it. I don't like to talk, I live it. I just turn it